I'm Gordon Teethwhitened, and this is Topical Talk, the show that likes to answer some of life's biggest questions. This week we'll be asking, is it ever okay to take pictures of war victims or victims of natural disasters? To help me answer this question, I'm joined in the studio by award-winning journalist and photographer Gordon Gladrags. Gordon, thanks for joining us.
No, thank you for having me, Gordon.
So, how do you use photography when reporting on wars and natural disasters? And what do you find challenging about it?
Well, there is an old saying that a picture paints 1,000 words, and we find that using photographs really helps back important stories up, and photographs can pull people into the story so that they can become more informed about the important issues of the world today.
What do people think though, when they're in trouble and you appear with your camera?
Well, you have to remember that we're dealing with people who are sometimes in the most extreme set of suffering or even in distress. So we must make sure that we take our photographs in a respectful way. We don't ever want to exploit people. We don't ever want to strip them of their dignity. You also need to be respectful to those who will be viewing the photographs and reading the story. You don't want to be too shocking or too graphic.
Gordon, some people might find it strange or even get quite angry that people like yourself take photographs when people are suffering or even dying. What would you say to them?
That's a very interesting question, Gordon. If you're in a situation like a bombing and people are injured and shocked, you would want them to be given first aid, or should you be taking photographs? Let's not forget that we are human beings first, and your initial response is often to help somebody before you take a picture. But a lot of times there are first aid teams there, or if you're with, say, the army, there might be a medic whose job it is to treat the wounded. That's their job. Our job is to document the atrocities.
You mentioned earlier, Gordon, that you must make sure you take your photographs in a respectful way. Can you give us a specific example of that, please?
Well, we have a responsibility to be careful with the people whose photographs we take. We can't expose them or put them at further risk. So, for example, if we are telling the story of people who've been subjected to torture or abuse or anything like that, they may not want to be identified. We may need to photograph them in a way that doesn't show their faces. And maybe we don't use their names. But we still need to be able to photograph pictures that will be emotionally engaging so that people can understand what happened to these people. Ultimately, we don't want people to look away from these situations. You want to engage them and to be curious and to understand what is happening. So these are some of the challenges that we face.
Gordon Gladrags, thanks for joining us. And thank you too for watching. Join us again next week when we undertake some more Topical Talk.